still not very good at this.
Open mic.
Yes, I can hear you.
We got people joining. Test. Weird. Test. Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Oh, okay, we're such noobs at this. We're laughing. I saw people commenting in the chat. Hey, everybody who's on, all 13 of you. Appreciate you joining us. And tonight's the big launch night for AardTags coming onto the Pathtags website. We got Zucky with us and Rusty with us. Before we get down the rabbit hole of AardTags, though, we wanted to talk to you about t-shirts. So we've been wanting to do t-shirts for a long, long time. If you guys remember, once upon a time, we were doing them and kind of tucking them into your packages, and that was cool. But that's kind of not something we can do at the moment. So we said, yeah, let's get some t-shirts done. Then we worked with Arted Crafted. If you don't know Arted Crafted, they have a lot of t-shirts on their website, and now they have some Pathtags shirts on their site. And so if you go over there, we've got some cool designs set up. They're essentially variations of this Pathtag icon design and a Let's Trade design. So hopefully those will go over well, and you guys will enjoy those. Of course, you know, Pathtags with the clip and the bag with the heart on it, right? So we are going to still be putting out additional shirt designs in the future. So this isn't, you know, the full set, but we wanted to get something going with Arted Crafted and make it available. And we particularly like the Let's Trade design. So hopefully those will be nice additions to your geocaching apparel collection if you have one. Nice. All right, and then anything to say on that one, guys? Otherwise, I think most people are here to hear about the big news with AardTags becoming part of Pathtags.com.
That's why I'm here.
That's why Sucky's. That is the truth. So, you know, the long and short of it is, you know, we've been talking for quite some time, and we just made the decision collectively that it made better sense for the tagging community if we pulled everybody together into one space for collecting, trading, and interacting with each other. And now seems to be a good time to execute on that. So that's where we're at. Pretty soon, The websites will redirect to pathtags.com. Currently, they don't, but they will come to this landing page. So if you have tags out there already in circulation and people go to log them, they can use the website on the back, and it'll come to a place like this that explains what's going on. They'll be able to click this link right here to go to our logging interface. But it also has some more frequently asked questions, and based on the questions you guys asked tonight, we will be adding to and amending these questions so that they are inclusive of all the stuff that comes up that people will be wondering. So just to run through them very briefly, and if you guys are watching live, feel free to post comments, and we will field any of the questions we're able to field tonight. I was watching or going through it with Rusty just before we went live, and I did notice a couple of things I'm going to have to address after the live cast that I couldn't, I couldn't get fixed before the live cast. So we have a couple of things I need to address, and you guys might see some things that we didn't notice too. So obviously your questions and feedback are valued, and you can post them anytime, and we'll keep an eye out for them. Just a quick check. I see somebody saying that something keeps freezing up. If any of you guys, we're kind of new at this whole live casting thing, so if we're messing up in some way, just let us know. Yes, and Paul's correct. He posted that a copy of the live cast will be available after broadcast, so you can, in fact, go to our Facebook page and YouTube after the cast and watch back anything that you missed. So we didn't move any accounts. So all the account information was untouched and is still private information. We only moved the tags to the site. What this will mean is that you need to log on to your preferred pathtags.com account and use the claim process to pull the tags onto your account. Right now, they're preloaded onto pathtags.com, but they're all owned by the Pathtags system user. And that's where they'll stay until and unless somebody claims them. The claim process should be pretty painless. I've gone through it a couple of times in testing with Zucky, but if we messed something up, let us know. We'll get things fixed as quickly as we can. But you should basically be able to come over here on the right-hand side. I'm maybe getting a little ahead of myself, but pretty easily, you just take your AardTags account email, and maybe you had multiple accounts at AardTags. Some people might have done that like they did at Pathtags. If you use many accounts, for each one, put the email into this form and submit it. Very quickly after that, you should get an email in your inbox with a link to click. You click that link, and it's going to pull all the Pathtag or all the AardTags onto your Pathtags account that you're logged into. So the thing to pay attention to is where it says you are currently logged in as, and in this case, Tribute 1976. If you were to submit this and then immediately click the link, that's the account that the tags will appear on. So if you want them on like a retired account or secondary account instead, just make sure you're logged into the account you want them on before you start the claim process. If you get them onto the wrong account, it's not a problem. Log back in on the correct account, go back through the claim process, and it'll allow you to pull them over. We're going to leave the claim process wide open for a little bit, so there's no barriers to getting the tags on your account. But if you run into any problems, actually, Paul is going to be open to fielding any initial questions. So you can email him now at paul@pathtags.com.
And then I'll immediately email Mike, and Mike will tell me what to do, and then I'll email you back.
That's how it works.
So are the tag numbers the same is another question we figured everybody's going to ask. And yes, they are. What was convenient about this is because AardTags started at 1 and went up. And as we talked about in our last show, we started at 5016. Funny story behind that, of course. But because of that, there's actually no conflict between tag numbers. So tag 1 is still tag 1. Tag 5016, still tag 5016. That was super convenient. So when you're collecting tags or you're thinking about how to come over and use them on pathtags.com, you can think about the same tag numbers. They're going to be the same. We did update the gallery, for example, because there was the filter we had before was order them from oldest to newest, and if we did that, it was all by tag ID. And so, number one showed up first, but in fact, number one was made much later than 5016. So we do have a new filter in the gallery for tag ID, and we have one for age. So you can use both of those to see, when things were made. And so one of the questions that came in from Barbara is, will all the past AardTags be in the gallery? We did preserve the permissions, the settings. So if they were not in the gallery on AardTags, they are off by default on Pathtags.com. So you may not see them in the gallery, but they're there. So if you go through the claim process, they'll show up on your account on Pathtags.com, and you can manage them just like a path tag you don't have showing up in the gallery. So we did preserve the settings. So not everything will be in the gallery unless it was already in the AardTags gallery, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Some things may not have imported well. We did our level best to get everything imported. All of the text from the profiles, if you had one set on AardTags, should be there. The name of the tag should be there, and even the the image of the tag should be there. What we did notice is that some of the initial or original tags, the artwork was a little lower resolution than we used from the beginning of Pathtags. So some of them may be a little bit blurry, but some of them are photographs like this one. We don't have the original artwork. We can update any of these. So if you are the owner of this tag and you have the original blueprint, some of this has been lost into antiquity. These can be updated. So just drop us an email and we can fix them. The other thing that you might notice is if you had a we'll call it square tag, but rounds are the same. So if it was the same dimensions in both directions for your graphic, which the round ones and a lot of the square shape ones were, they came in, right? They came in very well. And even we have, like, if they're two-sided, you can see that both sides are in the gallery on Pathtags.com. So it was a pretty clean import. There's a few though that, they are images. So if you have the original art and don't want the image, go ahead and send us the original art. We can update it. And there were a couple that were like license plate tags that are like rectangular. Those got imported as square. Paul's been working.
Right there.
What's that?
There's an example right there, 69. That's actually not a square. It's wider. It's more of a wide rectangle.
So in some of those, we need to touch them up, and Paul's going to start going through and doing some of those proactively. But if you see yours and you don't, and there's a problem with it, just drop us a line. We'll do our best to fix it. And not everything's possible because we do need, the original art. And in some cases we don't have it, but most cases we will, and we can update, stuff appropriately. So that's kind of almost the long and short of it. You will be able to add these to your collections. You'll be able to bookmark them like any other tag. You'll be able to add them to your wish list like any other tag. If you are the owner, I wouldn't put these on the wish list for now because they won't go to a real person. But if you're the owner of that tag from AardTags and you've claimed it, you will get the notification that someone put it on your wish list. You will be able to offer trades for these through the website. You will be able to log them into your collection. If you have a collection already, you can begin logging that collection on the Pathtags website today. As of now, you can go in and log these. One of the things we also probably ought to add to the FAQ is some of the AardTags have the same serial number in not many cases, but in some cases as an existing Pathtag. What would happen in that case? Well, if you're familiar with Pathtags history, you probably know that when we launched Pathtags, for a single person, all of your tags got the same serial number because the serial number was for the person, not for the tag. And so what we have is actually a situation where there are already existing Pathtags that share the same serial number but are owned by different people. And so there's already code in the website, and there's already a feature that when that happens and you're logging one and there's multiple tags with that serial number, it pops up a dialog and says, which one of these tags is it that you're trying to log? And you can select the one that you have by a photograph or a picture, and then it'll proceed. So somebody's asking, will there be a way to differentiate AardTags from Pathtags, and we're not planning on doing that. The only way I would say is that AardTags are numbered below 5,000. All of them are, so that's an easy way to know which ones are AardTags and which ones aren't. But I didn't have any intention of differentiating them in the system.
There's a question about serial numbers. There are special characters in some of the serial numbers in AardTags. Is that going to be a problem?
It may be, and if it is, that would be something to give us a line about. We will do our level best to make it all work. We haven't tested every nook and cranny of possible stuff, but yeah, it should be okay. I don't know if there's like Japanese characters, we might have to worry about it a little bit.
Most like dashes or that kind of asterisk.
It may have a problem. Well, and if you do have a problem, send us a note. We'll get it fixed as soon as possible, because certain fields in the website up to now are only expecting letters and numbers. So if you try to put a dash in, it may reject it, but it may take it. Honestly, I haven't tried it. So.
And then there was a question about when is the crossover going to happen, as the tags aren't visible in the gallery yet.
Well, they should be. I'm showing you guys the production site, so
they might have them sorted oldest to newest, which is how it was by default. You have to change it to.
That's a good point.
ID.
So if you have it sorted by oldest tags first, you're right. You will see the tags that were created in 2006 first. This is where we did add the new sort. So if you do it by tag ID, lowest to highest, that's where you'll start to see the X tags pop in. So X tags, again, they run from one to like 2,900 or 3,000 something. So if we jump ahead here, I don't know where they end up, but you'll see that they kind of blend in to everything. So yeah, you should see the tags now on the site. You should be able to start claiming your tags and then using them just like every other path tag. So we're hoping that this is a positive development for most people, because it puts everything in one place. If you're a tag collector for both in the past, now you've got one place that you can come and manage your collection, do trading with people, and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the information we really had to share for the bulk of people here for the content. Where our intention was to kind of stay on the line for a while and just sort of field some questions live, or if someone's trying to do something and they need some support, they can post in the comments, and we'll field those in real time as best as we can. And
Michelle, there's a question about reordering AardTags, which I know you and I had talked about.
Yeah, one thing before we get to that is there will be some giveaways. So Zucky's got some stuff that he wants to give away. So if you go to pathtags.com/contest, he's got a shirt.
This is a brand new 12-year-old t-shirt. I actually have like 6 of them. These were made in 2011.
And that says 10,000. So yep. At that time we were celebrating 10,000.
Never worn. I think they were given away when you ordered 1 month. If you ordered that month, you get a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and of course, if you come to the front page now, you'll see we did receive a little bump in the overall tag designs from around 44,000 to 47,000 because of the addition today. But we were kind of talking about that right before we got on live about how interesting it is to see a shirt like that. That's the 10,000, right? And I think you said you got the 10,000th tag, right?
I actually own the 9,999th tag and the 10,000th tag. Sat there buying tags like all through COVID. So yeah, was big into tagging at that point. That's how I got all the t-shirts too. We did a set of 12 tags, during that giveaway month. So I have all these mailers with all these t-shirts still in them from 12 years ago. I have large and extra large, just so people know. And figured that this is perfect with the new t-shirts to give away t-shirts. All right, so we had a question about blueprints. Here's the deal. All AardTags now, if you reorder them, will be considered a new tag. There's no redoing AardTags in the same system that you'd be able to do the Pathtags. That question had come up a little while ago.
Yeah. Someone's asking about whether we'll expand the number of wish list slots because of all the new tags, and we still have no current plans to do that. I mean, everybody asks about that. That's what everybody wants all the time. But the wish list feature, and you guys will probably hate me for talking about it, but it's really designed to be something you have to maintain, right? It was designed with a strict constraint for a reason, and the idea is, first of all, we didn't want to have people going on putting 1,000 tags on their wish list, because that's not a wish list. That's just like, give me everything. We really wanted to kind of force people to think about it. What do I really want? What's really important to me? Is this is a long shot tag. I'm going to keep it on my wish list, knowing I'm giving up a slot that I could be using, to wish list more that I'm more likely to get, but I really want that one. So it's actually working exactly the way it was designed, which is we want to have you make some tough choices, right? And use that feature, wisely, and cultivate that list and maintain it. Maybe I'll take my wish list, my long shot off for a minute, so I can, put some newer ones on that I know I can probably close the deal on. Then I'll go back and put my long shot ones back on. So it was always intended to be kind of like almost like a game, something you have to come and sort of play once in a while, and not just like load it up with 500 tags and forget about it, right? And so it did start off with way less than what we do have today. So that was an expansion. It's not to say we won't ever expand it again, but there's no current plan to boost it beyond what it's at. And the challenge is actually part of the idea. And so I don't throw eggs at me, but when I see people saying there's not enough, I'm like, yes, it's working. It's what it was supposed to be, but I get it, and maybe we will nudge it up at some point, but right now there's no plans for it due to this. So
All right. And
people are asking about feature changes right now. No, we don't have any plans to change the features being offered on the website. One of the other questions was about manufacturing facilities, and of course, we looked at that. If we had the same manufacturing facility, we could obviously offer more options in terms of ordering in the future than we were able to offer. But there's enough distinctiveness that we couldn't maintain all those manufacturing relationships that were done. So, we made the tough decision that it's just, like Paul said, if we're going to redo them, we're going to redo them. If the blueprint happens to be where we do our manufacturing, then of course we will not charge you for a remake of the mold. But I don't believe that's going to be the case for pretty much anything. So I don't know if that's your point of view, Paul, but that's kind of where I thought we were at.
Yeah.
Increasing the number of colors. I think someone's asking, like, can we go over 10? And the 10 limit is a hard limit we have with the manufacturer. And the history there is because people who use more than 10 colors, they go crazy. And what ends up happening is the manufacturing can't be done at high quality, right? There's a tremendous amount of failure rates. And the feedback we got from the manufacturer was that causes a lot of problems for them, a lot of lost product in the manufacturing process. And if they had to continue doing that, they were going to have to increase prices across the board to account for that. We made the decision then that a 10 color limit was reasonable. We did that on a databasis because I think it was like 95% of all tags ordered at that time had less than 10 colors. So it wasn't like we were, putting an unreasonable constraint on tags in general, it was kind of putting a reasonable cap, on the number of colors that are being used.
Yeah, and just to speak on, we did offer more colors. You could like buy more colors on a tag and things like that. Total management nightmare. Like I said, making the blueprints and things like that just end up. That was one of the things that boggled my mind on orders. Was just offering more than 10 colors. So,
Angela asked a good question here, which can we get a 75 tag order? So one of the things that's been going on is since we've been working on website updates and whatnot for this launch, I've been kind of in a code freeze, so we haven't done anything new on the website leading up to this. So now that we're clear and I can get back to doing coding, one of the features that we're looking to implement is a mixed reorder. So where you wouldn't necessarily be able to order 75, but the idea is that instead of having to order, one, you would be able to say, I'm going to order 200 tags, but I'm going to order 50 of this one, 50 of this one, 50 of this one, and 50 of this one. So that would be like the ability to refill, where I can say I want to have 100 of this one and 50 of this one, right? So you could have this sort of hybrid refill where if you were going to reorder one anyway at 100, we would have kind of like a minimum 100 or 150 quantity reorder for refills, but you'd be able to do a mix. So that way it wouldn't just be a refill of this tag, it would be these 3 or 4 tags in combination add up to the minimum quantity that makes sense to do a reorder. So that's one of the features we are, looking at, and it's on my backlog list along with a bunch of stuff that was suggested in the forums and the Facebook group. We had a great Facebook, 2-question Tuesday question, which was, do you have any wish list features for the website? And we got a lot of really interesting ones that I've recorded. So now that we're past this, and that's the way the website development works, is especially for complicated things, I need to be able to focus on them without getting too many things wrapped up in one update, because I've posted this one now and we're sure to find some problems that we're gonna have to go fix. So I don't want to get too far off on another project and not be able to fix those issues easily. So anyway. Jason's asking if there's an issue with logging into Pathtags website lately or a change. The one thing we did change is we had to kind of come up to the times on security for passwords. So a couple of the things we started noticing is to keep a password and keep you logged in requires like cookies and things that were, they're challenging these days with GDPR and all this other stuff with privacy. It's just a better practice not to store credential information on a browser anymore. So what we do is you do have to log in once per session, and then the session stays alive while you're active on the website. And then when you go away for a while, then the session goes away and you have to log back in again. So it's one time per session. So there is more logging in, but again, with password managers and things like that these days, it's less burdensome to have to log back in. And it's a whole lot more secure, right? So some of the updates we did around passwords is not storing the credentials out in the world, and then also requiring a much longer password. And just to say it, I think the conventional wisdom these days is to use a long passphrase versus a password. So something like, my dog likes to eat tomato pasta is a much longer password and something you can remember, but it's very hard to crack because of its length. So it's a more secure password, and that's one of the reasons we went to a password of the size that we did. So.
And if they have problems, they can email support. It's a pretty quick fix to get them back online.
Yeah, Jason's mentioning that his isn't working, so email recovery would be the way to go on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to. So some of the things, since we're talking about website updates, the mixed quantities is one. Somebody asked for a country of origin indicator that would give you more information about who you're trading with and where they're from before you enter a trade. Some people just aren't able to do international trading both directions for some periods of time. So that'd be good information. We do know about the problem if you go to log a tag. We used to be able to copy and paste the coordinates from geocaching.com into our location. Google changed their service that we were using to do that because we needed to translate the coordinates to decimal, latitude, longitude. They changed the service. It no longer works. I can't find an alternate service. We're working on that. We know it's an issue, but in the meantime, you can use the decimal, latitude, longitude. You can get it off of the geocaching site, or you can use something else like city, state, zip code to get closer or close enough. Somebody's asked for the ability to search your collection by the tag name. We plan to look into doing that. The ability to search and filter by owner in your collection is another thing that's been requested that we have on the backlog. So I can go in and say, show me all the tags I have that Rusty owns, and it would pop up just Rusty's tags. I'm going to be working a lot as soon as time permits to refactor the website to be more mobile friendly. It's not super mobile friendly or at all, some people might say, but that's one of the things we're going to be working on as well. To do that really requires a lot of like rip and replace of our UI infrastructure. So it'll be a lot of work and it'll come in phases, but that's also on the backlog. So those are a little bit of a sneak peek into where our head's at with the website features and the ongoing work that we intend to do there. So all right, the comments have slowed down unless you guys are seeing them faster than I am, but maybe that's an indication that we've shared the information that's needed to share here.
Yeah, I'm going to be available by email. Anybody wants to email me, they can pop right in. The URL for transferring tags, did you share that already? Go to pathtags.com.
That's a good point. Let me put that up. So if you go to pathtags.com/AardTags.
There you go.
Let me do that. And then this is the URL. So yeah, if you go to pathtags.com/AardTags, it will bring you to that website I was showing earlier. Let me bring that right back up again so we can so it'll bring you to this page. So pathtags.com/AardTags is all the place you go, and then you can come down the page to this claim your tags feature. And again, all you should have to do is put in your AardTags account email. And again, if you don't know what it was, feel free to reach out to us. We can look that kind of stuff up and get you an answer back. But if you had 2 or 3 accounts, you're going to want to do this once for each account. You can bring them all onto your same Pathtags account, even if they were on multiple other accounts at AardTags. Just be careful, like I said, to make sure the account listed here where it says you're currently logged in as matches the one that you want those tags on, because that's where they'll go. Pricing change, no pricing change for ordering new tags.
Yes, all the extras right now that are artifact tags, again, those are management nightmares and things like that. There is a geocoin company associated with Pathtags, Direct Mint. If you're interested in extras like that, we can work through that. But as far as the tags right now, it has to be all standardized just so people aren't pulling their hair out, because then they'll look like me.
Well, and just to address it too, the other thing, to put out there, I think what we intend is for Paul to become, part of the team. So Zucky will be around and helping in different capacities. One of those we've been talking about, right, is to be more of an event ambassador to. We lost him. He rage quit on me.
Just put him away.
Yeah, but and he can't disagree with me now because he's not on the live feed. But we've been talking about making Paul, having him take. Sorry,
Wrong button.
we're like, wow, he rage quit on us.
Oh, I'm a tech support guy. Oh, that's bad.
But yeah, I was saying, we had been talking about having you take like an event ambassador role where more outreach to large events about Pathtags, having Pathtags at the event, activities like the LCR dice games and things like this at those events. And concurrent with that, we can do some interesting things for events through both Pathtags and direct mint. So like, for example, we work a lot with Midwest Geobash. I think a lot of you have been to that event. But we work with them on their coins, we work with them on their Pathtags, and some of the unique things we can do is we can put Pathtags into coins and have them prepackaged that way, right? So we work with a lot of events. Not only do Pathtags make events more interesting and fun, but they can be a great fundraiser for those events, because they sell them and as swag, and it helps the event meet their financial needs, which large events have enormous financial needs, and it's not all about making money. It's about clearing the the bills necessary to rent the porta potties and pay for the insurance and get the golf carts and all that stuff. So yeah, anyway, that's just to say, Paul's not here on a one-time appearance. There's every intention that Paul's going to stick around and continue to work with us behind the scenes on other projects. And yeah.
All right. So if people have a question outside of this, they can always hit us up on Facebook or email me, paul@pathtags.com, and we will get that sorted out.
Yes, and don't forget
Contest.
Don't forget the contest, and don't forget the t-shirts. I'm really excited about t-shirts. I'll have one on at the next Livecast. I ordered this one, which is my favorite, the icon shirt. I don't know why I like that one so much. I just do. And then I'm gonna get a Let's Trade shirt when I go for an event. But if you guys have ever seen me at an event, a lot of times I am pretty busy, and my preferred mechanism is just to give you a tag and run. So Let's Trade is a bit of an over exaggeration in a lot of cases for me. But yeah, I'm excited about these two designs. The Let's Trade I like a lot because it harkens back to the Got Pathtags shirts and stuff we had. But it kind of sends that signal out to people. And then there are multiple configurations available. One of the great things about working with Arctic Crafted is we were able to put up women's shirts as well. So people who like that fit better, that option's available. And we were able to do a variety of configurations. So we have the ones where the designs are big on the front, and we also have these ones where if you go in, one design is small over the left pocket, and then the other design is on the back side. So it gives you some options to kind of tune what you get to your preference. If you like the icon logo better, then you can you can select the one here where it's got the Let's Trade on the pockets. You still have Let's Trade if you're going to be at an event, and then you have the larger icon design on the back. So we're really excited about working with these guys, and also the fact that this is the first of several of our Pathtag designs that we're going to be working with them on. If you are at what's this next big event coming up? Somebody help me out. Michael, you should know these things if you're going to talk about it. Anyway, there's a big event coming up that they will be at in person.
Georgia?
I don't think it's going caching. It's one after that. I know. I'll look at Pathtags.com. No, maybe it's going caching. They may be going caching, but they're going to bring some of these to the event. They'll be on their table, and you can buy some from them there. And if they run out of stock, they'll take your order live, and they'll ship them to you. So that will be cool to see these at events available in person for those of you going. I don't think it's going caching because I know that one really well. It was another event that I am less familiar with that they were going to. I'm not sure what it is. Sorry, guys. All right. Well, if there's, we'll give it maybe like 2 minutes for any additional questions, but then we'll probably wrap up if there aren't any. You know, our goal with these live casts were to make them shorter affairs versus like an hour or two long, to have you be entertained and get some information out, and then move on with everybody's lives versus, you know, a really long diatribe every time. But it is cool. We're pleased to see as many people coming as have been coming. That's awesome. Thank you for taking your time and coming out to talk with us and see us. we got Barbara saying, please come check out the forums and join the Christmas Pathtags Club, Pathtags Exchange. So
I've
yeah,
always Pathtags Exchange.
yeah, so there's always stuff going on in the forums. If you guys haven't checked the forums, I know that's kind of an old school way to communicate these days, but there's quite a few clubs that start up in the forums. If you're not familiar with the club idea, people from the community come up with an idea like postage stamps or something, and then collectively they make a path tag along those lines, and then there's a lot of people to trade with as a result. So I've done one before, and it was overwhelming. There's a lot of people to trade tags with, a lot of tags to trade, and I am not the most organized person. That's why there's features on the website, by the way, like the easy tag, the easy labels. So we can talk about that in another show. I can maybe do a little website expose sometime, but that feature exists because I found it very difficult to label, organize, and ship my tags, and I wanted it to be easier for me, very selfishly, but also for everybody else.
And the t-shirt contest is going to go on for the 24 hours, so people who didn't get to see this live will get to enter. And then tomorrow I'll post the winner, and I actually have a couple of them, so there's a couple chances to win.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody for coming. I'm going to sign us off, and we will be happy to take any questions through Facebook comments, through the email to Paul, or to support@pathtags.com anytime you want to send us a message. Until next time, see you in episode 5018.